Hello, hello. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. I am so excited about my interview today. We are talking all about the science of earning more money with ease. With ease. That's kind of, we all want to earn more money. And with ease, just the bonus. So I'm excited to introduce you to my guest today. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Kate Volman. I share ideas and inspiration to help you live a more creative and fulfilling life. You'll see on my channel, I share a lot of book recommendations and journaling prompts and leadership tips and interviews like the one we're about to have today on these lives. So if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, I invite you to do so we can stay connected. I am so excited to introduce you to my guest. She is a friend of mine. And like I said, she is all about helping her clients earn more money with ease. Her name is Tasha Chen. She is the founder of the Science of Getting Rich Academy. She is an expert in taking businesses from struggling and on the verge of giving up to opening their can of dreams again, having more fun and making money, which is what it's about, right? We need to have fun while we're earning money, doing great things out into the world. Her inspirational talks cover the magic of manifesting, mindset, and developing personal superpowers, sales from the heart, and calling in abundance. So please join me in welcoming my fabulous guest, Tasha Chen.
Hello.
Oh, I'm so excited that we're doing this.
I know. This is always a timely conversation. It's like, oh, we just happen to be talking about making more money with ease. And it's the perfect time. It's always the perfect time, right?
It's always the perfect time to talk about more money with ease. And I love the conversation around money because it always comes up, right? I mean, I'm a coach, you're a coach. We talk about people's dreams, and there's usually money attached to those dreams that people are trying to achieve in their world. But not everyone is comfortable talking about money.
I know.
Why is that?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, we only have a couple minutes for this conversation. But I'm just going to call out after 10, 11 years of doing this work, the big ones that I see. I went to the UK once and they had Lloyd's Bank of London had an ad that said the M word. And it was hilarious, but it was so true. Like, with families sitting at dinner, everybody looking around, like nobody wants to bring it up. Nobody wants to talk about it. And it comes down to religion. That's probably number one, like being raised in a religious setting that says to desire more money is wrong. The other one is our cultures. Like so many of my clients, it's like, well, in my family, we never talked about money. So I don't even have the nerve to express that I desire to have more money. Like it literally is, it's kind of like how I am with conflict. Like I cannot do conflict. You start arguing with me and I shut down, right? So if you were raised in a family where nobody talked about money and yet you knew your family was struggling financially, you're raised with this thing that says that's a thing we don't talk about. And so it just becomes, I mean, those are honestly the top two. And then there's just all the personal baggage. The third one is really the personal baggage of, I feel greedy. I feel bad, wanting more. And nobody wants to feel like that. So I'm just not going to talk about the thing. But it's funny you said we all want more money. I made a list of the top 10 things I wanted in my life. And I was like, well, let's see. You don't need money for everything. And there's only one on there that did not require money, and it was love.
Oh my God.
And I went, I was single. I go, well, I do have to join a dating site and it does cost money.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah, I mean, look, when obviously happiness and all the things that we love to do, like spending time with family and friends, like all of those things just create so much happiness and joy in our lives. And you don't need money to do that. However, what I find so interesting is when over the years, I think that more and more people are opening up about conversations around money. I think in the past like generations, people, it was kind of that like, you don't talk about it. It's rude to talk about money. You shouldn't want to be wealthy or you, like you said, like that greedy feeling. I think a lot more women have that
Yeah.
feeling because a lot of
Yeah.
women are like, well, I just want to give away my services. I want to do things for free because I love it. So I am happy about more and more people opening up the dialogue in their homes
Yeah.
and with their friends and with their families. I think it's really important. And when we think about money and we think about earning more money, I mean, first of all, people, it's like earn more money is one thing. And now you're talking about, well, no, I'm going to teach you how to earn more money with ease. Like it doesn't have to be so hard because I think some people do think it's really hard to create a lot of wealth.
Yeah. So I heard this quote, by Oprah, or somebody asked her about, how do you do it knowing you sleep on like 1,000 count thread, sheets at night while this and that's going on in the world? And she was like, look, I've been on the other side and this way is better, And that's really it for me. I've done it the hard way. When I tell you I did it so hard, it cost me my marriage, my
Mm.
health. I had little children that didn't even like, who are you? This woman that just came through the door. They didn't even recognize their mom. I was working so hard trying to achieve financial success, and it was costing me everything. So I tried that, been there, tried that, and now I'm on this side. And I'm here to say this is so much better. Easy and relaxed is my mantra, easy and relaxed. And my pursuit is to just keep finding how can I make it easier? And the book that I teach from is called The Science of Getting Rich. And when I start talking, like, most people will go, really? Easier? More money? Easier? Is that even possible? Because we've been trained, all of us, right? I would say, unless you were blessed to have a different upbringing, whether it's through your education or your culture or your family, it's like, you want to make more money, work harder. That is the
Yeah.
only, that's it. You want to make more money, be willing to work harder. Well, there's another way, but no one's taught us the other way. And so the science of getting rich says getting rich is scientific with mathematical certainty. If you know how to apply the laws, you will get rich with mathematical certainty. Like me, I love guarantees. I love them.
Yep.
So when I read that, I was like, that's kind of like, I'm always, if I throw the apple up, it's always going to fall down. So what you're saying is if I learn these laws and I apply them every single time in every instance, we can get rich. Every one of us, no matter what business you're in, what school you went to, who your family is, none of that matters. As long as you're willing to apply the laws, you will get rich. And so I'm on a mission to show, like, I am so on a mission to normalize easier money, easier money.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Yes, yes, and yes. So, okay, so people are listening. They're like, okay, tell me, what do I need to do? What is like the first step? Like, what if there's a science behind it? I do not know yet. What is the science, and what do we need to do?
Okay, so at the risk of sounding simple, because honestly, that is the thing that gets us in trouble. It's like, it can't be that
I
simple,
know.
right? It's like, come on, can't you just complicate it for me so I can believe it? Well, it really is this simple. And I'm just going to give it to you right here, and I'll expand on it. But really, money is made in your mind. Money is made in your mind. And it's made like this: how easy you make it or how hard you make it, it all begins in your mind. How much you have or how little you have, it all begins in your mind. If you keep it or spend it, everything about money, when you bring it down, down, down to the bottom line basics, it all starts in your mind. That, in essence, is the science. Everything is first a thought. So when I realized that and I wanted to make more money, it was like, oh, instead of, my choices are go work harder, effort with my time and my, physicality, like go show up and do all the crazy things that they tell you have to do to create success, or I could work on my mind and my mindset and how I think about money. And I don't know about you, but hours a day, hustling and grinding or working on my mind. Like, this is a lot easier for me. I think that's a lot easier. And the dividends are so far reaching because I have found over the last, and I've been doing this for 11, 12 years, I have found that I've made more money with more ease than when I had all the things that said, you can succeed with a franchise, with a this, like all the things that were guaranteed to create success failed me. But the investment I've made in working on my money mindset has created returns, honestly, Kate. I mean, beyond my wildest dreams, wildest dreams. And let me just say, like I said, the first part is the mind, is working, being willing to work on your mind and asking yourself some questions like, how do I think about money? Am I
Mm.
creating? This morning I did a Facebook Live about the money prison that we're in. And it's one thing to realize like I'm in a financial trap. It's a whole other thing to go, hang on a second. I put myself in this prison because I'm not mastering my thinking around money, you know?
Yeah. I'm when you're so as you're talking, I'm like, yes, this makes so much sense because so much of what we attract the things that we think about, right? If we're constantly focused on whatever it is, whether it's money, work, relationship stuff, right? It's the words that we speak, it's the things we say, it's the things that we think. So for someone, when I think about money, the conversation to me really turns around self-awareness. Like,
Yeah.
are you aware that you're thinking negatively about money or that you're kind of not attracting it the way that you could be? And how does one identify what their money mindset is so that they can make that shift and change?
Yeah. And so it's interesting because as you were sharing that just now, it's like, I want to talk about what makes it hard. So I've said that money is made in your mind. So what makes it so hard and how can you tell like I am not firing on all cylinders here when it comes to my mindset around money? I always tell people, look at your bank account. Let's start there. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you based on your results, the number in your bank account today, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you in terms of where you desire to be at this point in your life? Like, yeah, everybody wants, like an extra 10 million in the bank. All of us do. And if you're at the point in your life where you know what, I've been doing everything right, and let me look at where I am right now. Like, I don't have multi-millions cash sitting there just waiting for me to tell it what to do. But when I look at where I am financially, oh, I give myself a check mark because I'm satisfied with where I am at the moment, and I keep creating more. But most people will look at where they are financially and go, I'm really out of 10. I am probably a 2 or a 3. And the number that you give yourself tells you how you're doing in terms of your thinking around money. Here's the other one. So one is look at quantitatively, where are you financially? Number two, which a lot of people don't evaluate enough, me and Kate both have $10,000 in the bank this month. I worked 5 hours. Kate worked every waking hour she had. That is not equal. That is not an equal $10,000, right? So the
Yeah.
next thing is look at how the money flows to you. How does your money come to you? Is it with difficulty, challenges, like, or was it relatively easy? Like you spent relatively a small amount of your precious asset time creating the income that you have. And that will tell you the people who are working hard for their money have a severe lack mentality around money. They genuinely believe that that is the only way to create, and they have to work harder and harder because it's competitive. So the harder I work, the more I get, right? That is so a lack mentality if I've ever heard one. But we're not thinking, we're just thinking about like, how much do I have in the bank when we think about money? Not many of us are thinking, well, how did it come? Because that's also telling me how I'm thinking. And the other one is, here's a big one. How much time do you spend worrying about your financial safety.
Mm,
That will tell you a lot about where your thinking is or what your money mindset really is. Like I've gone from every waking hour being consumed, with worry and fear around my financial safety and my and just being feeling secure, to now I know with that drop of a hat, drop me in a Middle Eastern country tomorrow and I'm good to go. I will make money. Why? Because it's this that's making me the money. And no matter what the economic circumstances, no matter where I am, no matter what I have to sell, if you want to call it that, no matter what's needed, I can create money no matter what. Right? So
yeah.
that is such a different mindset than, and I think those are the things that you have to really like look at yourself. And I do this very well for me. I'm like, Tasha, you're BSing yourself. Like, really? You think you're doing good? Well, let's look at your bank account. Let's really see what you really think. But a lot of people are just not willing to do that. And
Yeah.
it just keeps making it more difficult. The moment you become honest with yourself, it's like, my thinking needs changing. It really does, because I don't like my results. Then you can start to create change.
I love that because people, it's, we have to assess where we are, right?
Yeah.
Like, no matter where we're going, whether we're talking about money or fitness or career, whatever it is, where are you now? And
Yeah.
then where do you want to go? I meet so many people, when we're talking, we talk to a lot of people about their dreams, right? So their dreams, there's a financial component. And I was just talking to one of my coaches today, and she said, oh my gosh, when we're in the money conversation, I can't believe how many people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to look at their finances. They don't want to look at their bank account. Like, it's not a regular thing that they do. Now, these are successful people that
Yeah.
are doing well in
Yeah.
life, and
Yeah.
they still have this mindset. So I love this idea of giving yourself a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. And I love that. How much time do you think about your financial safety? Because I think a lot of people, no matter where they are today, a lot of people have that feeling of, oh my gosh, what if something were to
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
not good energy to put out into the world.
No, it's not. And it really just, it's that sense of like, when I think about like what makes it hard, because the conversation we wanted to have, right, was around easy, manifesting more money with ease. And I always like to start with, well, what's making it hard for you right now? And what's making it hard for you is your thinking. It's your mindset. It's, when we talk, the obvious ones are you have a lack or a scarcity mindset, right? The other one that people that comes to mind when I say, why do you make it so hard for yourself? It's like, you know what, Tasha, honestly, I keep putting out goals, and you probably find this in your coaching. I put out goals, but I don't really believe them. So of course you're always going to feel like it's not happening and it's hard because you don't even believe in the goal,
Yeah.
you know? Or you set goals from this place of, it's like, well, honestly, I've never made more than $200,000 a year. So I'm going to go for 210. And then you're like, I don't know. It's just so hard, Kate and Tasha, to make $300,000. I can't figure out how to do it. Well, you're setting your intentions from a limitation. Your mindset is kind of limited, and you have to really work your way out of that. And that's how it starts to get easier. But the number one culprit that makes it hard for a majority, especially women. And another conversation you and I will have to have one day, Kate, is I came up with 13 different money traumas that most people that I work with have experienced. And when I call them out, I just did a challenge and I listed all 13, and 95% of the audience, thousands of people, had 12 out of 13 or 13 out of 13.
No way.
So if you have had trauma around money, all of us, and I know this because I've walked this street myself, we end up with deservingness issues, right? You just, with the best will in the world, you ask for more money, you work harder, you do everything by the book, but you don't believe you deserve it. And my friends, it's like climbing up a hill with like a 10-ton brick. it is forever going to be difficult because you're asking for something that you really genuinely want, but deep down you don't believe you deserve. So you are actually working against yourself. And that's what makes it hard. It's
Oh, such yes, it's a worthiness issue. Oh my gosh. I- I'm sure people do you have that list that people can find and can you share like one or two of the traumas just to give us like a
yeah.
little idea of
So
what
I'm gonna go with, like this is my specialty. 90+% of the people I work with are women. So I'll just talk with the biggest top two ones that I see. I ask them, have you ever experienced something in your life that was painful, and especially love was involved? Right? So it's something and painful experience with somebody that you love currently, or you had loving feelings for at one time, and money was involved. And here's the thing, for most of us who are divorced, it is so traumatic to have been married to someone, to promise your life to this person, you're going to build a life, have kids, all this, and now here you are parting, and what are you fighting over? Money. And what happens is we don't go, I mean, most of us really do, like, I don't like you, da 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 da. But the truth is, the bigger energetic thing that we hold on to is money, you're bad, and you caused this. You caused me to feel this pain, right? Another big one is when, and for most of us that get to middle age, you still got a ways to go, Kate. But for most of us that get to middle age, it's like we all 99% of us have had an experience in our life where money was involved, and we have deep regret. Deep regret. Like, we
Mm.
stay awake at night thinking, why did I do that? Why did I do that? That cost me so much. Or here's the third one. I'm not where I should be financially. I feel so ashamed. I feel so guilty. And literally, we re traumatize ourselves every time we go through those thoughts, because trauma, and people don't associate trauma with money generally. There's actually a term, post traumatic financial disorder.
Is
Because
that really a term?
yes, yes, because after going through trauma,
Wow.
your finances are in disarray. You're a mess, right?
Yeah.
Because we went through money trauma. And a lot of people just don't associate it. But a traumatic experience is any response you had to an event that leaves you emotionally impaired. So you had something happened, money was involved, and you had an emotional impairment. You're traumatized. And my friends, what happens is you go, I want you money, back off. You cause me pain. And this is the one that's going to
Mm.
win. That one there where you push it away, that's the one that's going to win. That's what makes it hard. And we're like going, going, going. We haven't even gotten to the easy part yet.
Yes, let's go to the easy because yes, but I think that's important. You know what? I like that you just shared those because that's something that people, I mean, I wasn't expecting those to be the three that you shared. So I think
Yeah.
that obviously a lot of people that really resonates with a lot of people. So, all right. So we don't want it to be hard. We want it to be easy. What do we need to do to make it
All
easy?
right. Three things. You ready?
Let's do it.
Trust me, I am $50 million in to doing this work. That's for my clients. And then for myself, totally transform my financial life. And I tell people, I say that to say, I know about this. Like, if there's anything you can do, you can trust me on this one, right? It comes down to these three things. You want to make money with more ease. Number one, be willing to ask, and ask from a place of expansion. You and I talked about, okay, Tasha, so I made $200,000 last year or $100,000 last year. You know what? I'm just going to go for gold, and I don't even need it to make sense. I'm going to say I want to double my income. I want $200,000. And I'm willing to choose to believe that I can have it.
Mm.
That's it. I'm like, what do you have to lose? Just choose. Just choose to believe. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm willing to choose to believe that it can happen for me. A lot of people miss asking because they're either stuck in logic, or for many of us, especially us women, we have a hard time asking for what we want. So number one is to just ask. And there's a science for everything, right? So I teach people a process for asking through intentions. Just being intentional, writing it down. We all know Napoleon Hill told us, put it in writing, right? So put it in writing, write it down. You write it down with a by when date. By when do you want it? You write it down with a specific amount, and you write it as if you already received it with emotion. So really, that's it for asking, number one. Number two, this is where people go, oh my gosh, the thing that makes it hard, Tasha, is I know I have so many limiting beliefs and I have so many traumas and I have so many this and that, and I have to work on my mindset. And I go, okay, I'm going to give you a little, like skip the line, little tool that you can use to like bypass all of that. Here you go. Number two, and everything I'm telling you, it's science. It's all based on things like your reticular activating system, right? That's a whole other conversation we'll have to have another time. But what you want to do, that part of your brain is a gatekeeper of information. It literally takes what you give it and it says, oh, Tasha wants me to focus on this. I'm going to focus. My guy sent me a picture of the C8 Corvette. I don't know nothing about cars, but I'm in a little like, I'm engaged and really wanting to like show my interest in what he's interested in. So before I go to bed, I watch this TikTok thing. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I go to bed. Every single day since that day, I've seen one of those cars.
Oh my
Every
gosh.
day.
Isn't that so funny?
Every day. So why can't we do that for money? That's what's easy. Like give it to this part of your brain and tell it to focus on it. And then the results start showing up in your life. See, nobody wants to talk about that. They just want to tell you, go get 3 more jobs and work harder. Meanwhile, you have a superpower here that's like waiting for you to tell it what you want. So number 2 is to see it as done. Literally, there is nothing else on the planet you cannot outwork this one. Close your eyes every night before you go to sleep, right before you go to sleep, and literally just see yourself. You made the number you wanted to make this year. I mean, can it get easier than that?
No. No.
It can't.
And I just have to say that Tasha, you live, eat, and breathe it, because I remember I texted Tasha something regarding money, and then her text message back to me was, and so it is.
Oh God. You best believe if I could turn my camera around and you saw my office and the walls, like everywhere my eyes look in my house, I am reinforcing my desires. I had a little bank slip. You know how you deposit your check every month in the bank? Well, when I get the slip back, I change the number to what I want it to be in the future.
So awesome.
I am constantly feeding this thing with what I want. Right?
I love it. Well, it's like, it reminds me of the bit, the Jim Carrey situation where he wrote his check out for $1 million and he kept it. And I mean,
10 million he wrote it for.
It was 10 million. $10 million.
Dumb and Dumber, his first movie, I have goosebumps everywhere. Honestly, like, why would you want to work harder when and every single one of us can do this? Yeah. That's what's beautiful, right? And it is scientifically proven to work when you work it. So number 2 is to see it as done. Number 1 is to ask with intention and belief. Number 2, literally just close your eyes for a few minutes before you go to sleep and just see yourself in some way with that outcome that you desire financially. Number 3, and this is where a lot of people get us in trouble and we end up in the woo-woo category, because number 1 and 2, they can say it's woo-woo. I know it's science, but here is where the rubber really hits the road. You must take inspired action. And that's the thing. In the Science of Getting Rich, it says the only way you can, it says by your thoughts, by mastering your mind, you create the results that you want. It's created. The minute you think it, it's created, it's done. But by action, you receive it. By action, you receive it. So, the recovering workaholic over here, when I heard that, I was like, here we go. I'm right back to the drawing board with working hard. I'm going to have to work tons of hours, right? And it's like, actually, when you do number one and number two correctly, this is what happens. You get little nudges like call Kate, or, go to that event, or do a Facebook Live about this. And it's like you literally get informed by a power that is higher than you, just informs you, do this thing, do that thing. And I would rather work in that way than make a list every day of 30 things to do, because none of those things are as efficient or as effective as when I'm getting informed about this is the next thing to do. This is the next brilliant idea. This is the next action to take, right? And it's just, I always say, pick up your phone right now and order a thing on Amazon, and it's on its way. You'll get a picture here. It's at the front door. You're like, great, my order's been delivered. But until you open the door, no matter how much it's been delivered, you got what you asked for. Until you open the door, you can't get the package. And that's what action is really all about in this formula. We have to be taking action in order to receive. And
Yeah.
that's it.
Oh my gosh, you're right. It does seem so simple, and
Mhm.
we, in a world where we like value complexity, it's hard for us to sometimes take in the simplicity of what it really takes to be successful.
Yeah.
So I love this. So number 1 is be willing to ask. Number 2, see it as done. I love that. And then take inspired action. And I keep thinking, I have that feeling of everything that you're talking about, it really does start and stem from belief. It's
Yeah.
belief. It's you have to have that belief that when you see it as done, like you truly believe it.
Yeah.
And that's where I think is it's that practice. And so you actually have a money gratitude journal that
Yeah.
teaches people how to have that practice, so that you're not going to just wake up one day and like already have that belief, so
Yeah.
like really really down deep down inside of you where it needs to be. So you created this to really help people get to that space. So tell us about your money gratitude journal.
Yeah, so that money gratitude journal thing is something that can help you in the number 2, where you see it as done. So, if you got to the end of the year and you created doubling your income, any one of us would be so happy, would be so grateful. I mean, I was driving in my car today in tears, just like, thank you, God, for what my life is today. You're so grateful. And so what we don't realize scientifically, and Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this, he says gratitude is the highest magnetic frequency that our bodies can experience. And when you're in gratitude, your brain thinks that this thing has already happened. So literally the body bypasses the mind. You don't have to try to convince yourself. You bypass that and your body thinks, oh, wow. Oh, so that $200,000 you wanted, it actually already happened. So this gratitude journal is meant to get people over the course of 30 days to tap into that feeling of being grateful around money every single day for 30 days. And each day it's a different prompt. My favorite day is day 16, where it says, what is an amount that at some point in your lifespan you would like to have created? Like, what would blow your mind that, what, while I was on this face of this earth, I created this much, whether it's in your net worth, an amount in your bank account, whatever it is. I know my number because I do it every time. But what is the number, and can you feel grateful for it now as if it's already happened? And so you get to write out in gratitude how grateful you are, what it's allowed you to do, the loved ones that you've changed their lives, the trips you've gone on. You actually simply just write it out as if it's already happened, and you tap into that gratitude frequency, which is the highest frequency of all emotions. And that's the magic right there, that one.
Oh my gosh. So good. All right, Tasha, you are so amazing. I know you have a really cool, so moneygratitudejournal.com is where you can get the gratitude journal. I'll put it in the link, or I'll put the link down below. And also, you have a really incredible community of people that you help support. So tell us how people can connect with you and learn all the things that you teach.
Yes. Well, number one, I really do. I encourage every single person watching, grab that journal. Just start doing the prompts. You have 30 days of it. And then on Facebook is where my community really congregates. We're called the Money Attraction Community. So if you type Money Attraction Community, there's like 17,000 of us. And what I love is that this is where, your family might not get you and your financial goals and dreams, but over here in the money attraction community, we talk about our wildest dreams and we celebrate each other, we cheer each other on. So if you're looking for a space to just dream and be supported, come join us over there.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, Tasha, I'm so glad we did this. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for sharing all of your wisdom. And people need to check out your journal. And I'm excited. I'm excited for this year. I'm excited to create more abundance. I'm excited to learn more from you. So thank you for all that you do and all the people that you support.
Thank you for having me and sharing this information with your peeps.
Awesome. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been so much fun. I've been doing more and more lives. So if you like these, let me know. If you're interested in hearing from specific people or topics, let me know. But I hope that you take one thing out of what Tasha talked about today. Even if you just take one thing and do one of these activities to help create more abundance and money into your life. So if there's any way that we can support you, please reach out and let me know. And again, I'm doing more of these lives regularly. And if you are new to my channel and you haven't yet subscribed, I invite you to do so. You'll see other videos. I do lots of journaling prompts, book recommendations, leadership tips, and really inspiration to help you live a more creative and fulfilling life. So I would love to connect with you here and over on the other socials. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.